Time now for the newspaper cartoon of the day. On to more local news. Democratic National Alliance parliamentarian Sunil Handurnethi says that the incidents which transpired in Parliament yesterday confirm that there is no room for public opinion.
A tense situation arose in Parliament yesterday when members of the opposition lit candles and entered the Parliament chambers in protest against the increase in electricity tariffs.
ඊයේ දවසේ පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ සිද්ධ වෙච්ච සිදුවීම් වලින් මේ ආණ්ඩුව ඔප්පු කළා පාර්ලිමේන්තුව තුල මහජන මතයට ඉඩක් නැති බව. මොකද පාර්ලිමේන්තුව
Through the incidents that transpired in Parliament yesterday, the government once again proved that there is no room for public opinion. We do not have an opportunity to speak in Parliament. We are not given an opportunity to vote on behalf of the people against certain bills. There were several bills pertaining to the economic burdens of the public. We made a request as public representatives for an opportunity to speak on these matters democratically and an opportunity to exercise our vote against certain things. Our opinions may differ from those of the government. However, as public representatives, we should be granted a democratic opportunity to express our views. If they don't allow us to speak or cast our vote, then what can we do? Vijay Herath and myself climbed onto the tables in Parliament on behalf of the JVP to point out that there is no democracy in Parliament. By doing so, we did not in any way attempt to belittle Parliament or the voting power of the general public.
පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ මේස උඩට විජිත හේරත් මන්ත්‍රීතුමාත් මමත් ජනතා විමුක්ති පෙරමුණ හැටියට අපි නැග්ගේ. ඒකෙන් අපි මොනම ආකාරයෙන්වත් පාර්ලිමේන්තුව හැල්ලු කරන්නවත් මහ ජනතාවගේ ඡන්ද බලය හැල්ලු කරන්නවත් නෙමෙයි අපි උත්සාහ කළේ.
අපි ජනතා නියෝජිතයෝ ඒ ජනතා නියෝජිතයන්ගේ වගකීම තමයි.
We are public representatives, and as public representatives, it is our responsibility to stand up for the people when the people are facing hardship. This is what happened in Parliament yesterday. However, today a majority of parliamentarians in the House have kicked aside the mandate given to them by the people who voted for them and have crossed over. They have changed parties and joined the government for positions, ministerial portfolios and benefits. However, we think that it is timely now for these MPs to leave the government now and take to the streets and campaign on behalf of the people. It is time for them to take the right stand. Yesterday in Parliament we acted against this unjust and unfair measure, and in the future as well we will continue this campaign unconditionally.
Now the chairman of the Puttalam Pradeshya Sabha, Diluk Patirage, passed away in a motor accident early this morning. The accident occurred when the pickup truck in which the chairman was travelling in collided with a tipper that was parked on the side of the road.
Chairman of the Puttalam Pradeshya Sabha, Diluk Patirage, who was travelling in his pickup truck, had passed the Dadaru bridge on the Colombo-Puttalam main road and travelled a further 100 metres when tragedy struck. The chairman's vehicle had crashed onto a tipper truck that was parked on the side of the road. The accident occurred at around 2 a.m. today. According to a correspondent, the chairman of the Puttalam Pradeshya Sabha has died on the spot. The driver of the pickup who sustained injuries was rushed to the Chilao General Hospital. Diluk Sisira Patirage was 39 years old at the time of his demise. He was elected to the Puttalam Pradeshya Sabha in 2002 and later assumed duties as the chairman of the Pradeshya Sabha in 2006. He served as a teacher and a Samurdhi officer before entering into politics.
The police have commenced an extensive investigation into the brawl that took place in Okkampitiya Monragala between the deputy chairman of the Puttalam Pradeshya Sabha and two police officers.
Two police officers on patrol in Okkampitiya last night had stopped and searched the motorbike in which the deputy chairman of the Puttalam Pradeshya Sabha was travelling in. A senior police officer in charge of the area said that an argument broke out regarding another individual who had been travelling on the motorbike without a helmet. This led to a brawl between the two parties. Deputy Chairman of the Puttalam Pradeshya Sabha, Cecil Nanakara, and two others were injured in the incident. The police said that an officer attached to the Puttalam police station in Monragala and another police officer who was on duty were also injured. The police stated further that the two officers were admitted to the Puttalam district hospital. They attacked us, that is all. The two people in the motorbike attacked us. We don't know them by name. The senior police officer in charge of the area said that the deputy chairman of the Buttala Pradeshya Sabha was admitted to the Okampete Rural Hospital and was later transferred to the Sirigala Hospital. We asked the police why they are holding a torch at us. They asked us why he was travelling without a helmet. So I told them that I went to pick him up from the Galgama junction and he did not bring a helmet. I told them it was my fault and I apologized. Then a motorbike with two persons who were not wearing helmets passed us by. Then he asked them whether they noticed that. They said that he talks too much and hit him. They also took the key to the bike and snatched the helmet. Then they suddenly hit me on the head with a pistol and I started bleeding. Then the OIC arrived. I showed him the blood. I applied the blood on his face and I told him that this is what his officers did to me. The police said that an assistant superintendent of police is heading the investigation into the incident.
This clash erupted between law enforcement authorities and a public representative. Who was the first to attack? Was it the law enforcement authorities or the public representative? If you believe that the public representative was the first to attack, type news space A and send to 7788. If you believe that the initial blow was made by the law enforcement authorities, then type news space B and send to 7788. You can also join this poll through our website newsfirst.lk. The results of this poll will be revealed on our 10 p.m. news bulletin on Sirasa TV.
In business news tonight, Cabinet approval has been granted to present the 2012 report of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka to Parliament. Now, a communique issued by the Government Information Department says that according to the report, the economy of the country has recorded a growth rate of 6.4% last year. The communique adds that in 2012, inflation stood at 7.6%. The Government Information Department says that the main source of foreign exchange for that year was generated by Sri Lankans employed overseas. The report of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka notes that a sum of $6 billion used in US dollars in foreign exchange was generated by the Sri Lankan expatriates. This is an increase of 16.3% compared to the same period in 2011. Yesterday in Parliament, the opposition charged that the government has failed to submit the 2012 report of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka to the Parliament.
A group including UMP and opposition leader Ranil Wickremesinghe undertook a 4-day tour of the Jaffa Peninsula today. Parliamentarians Tissath Nayaka and D.M. Swaminathan are accompanying the opposition leader during the tour.
According to the opposition leader's tour schedule, the leader of the opposition is scheduled to meet with civil activists, professionals and religious leaders in the Jaffna district. Facilities for the group including lunch and lodging is provided by a group of individuals within the party. However, UNP activists have expressed their displeasure over the failure of the UNP leadership to accommodate UNP leaders with a voter base on the trip. They note that engaging in a tour of the north without leaders who possess a solid voter base at a time when elections are drawing closer is futile.
At a time like this, when visiting these areas, you must take with you leaders who have a voter base and who have gained the trust of the people. Individuals like the former Deputy Leader Sajith Premadasa and former Deputy Leader Karu Jayasuriya should be included in this tour. There are leaders in this party who have won the approval of the people and who can speak to the people's hearts. However, our leaders have failed to include any of them on this tour. At this decisive point, what should be done is that the leaders of the people should be conferred responsibilities, and through this an effort must be made to bring the party to the forefront. At this instance, when the people are suffering, this leader does not understand the needs of the people and the change that they are asking for. At present, a major crisis has been created in this country with the increase in electricity tariffs. But Ranil Wickremesinghe was not even in the country to speak a word on behalf of this. We are extremely disappointed that he is not doing what is essential and timely. We see Ranil Wickremesinghe's tour of Jaffna as a leisure visit.
Speaking at a media briefing convened today, Southern Provincial Councillor Maitri Gunaratna said that the opposition leader has evaded his responsibilities whenever the people of the country have faced serious issues.
විදුලි වැඩි කිරීමත් සමගම ආණ්ඩුවේ මැති ඇමතිවරු කීප දෙනෙකුටත් දැන් කරන්ට් එක වැදිලා තියෙනවා.
The increase in electricity tariffs has shocked even some MPs and ministers in the government, and they too are preparing to act against the government. However, the opposition leader is overseas on holiday while all this takes place. This government has created an opposition leader who protects the government and its longevity. This is the biggest tragedy we have to face today.
නායකවරයෙක් අද මේ රටේ මේ ආණ්ඩුව බිහි කරලා ආරක්ෂා කරනවා. ඒක තමයි අපිට තියෙන ලොකුම ඛේදවාචකය.
You're watching Primetime News. Up next is Action TV.
The district secretary of Kandy usually brings together all divisional secretaries of his district to one particular divisional secretariat and holds a meeting every month. Such a meeting was held on Tuesday at the Pujapitiya divisional secretariat. A meeting of this nature was not held for the month of March, and the last time the divisional secretaries met in this manner was on the 21st of February at the Maladumbara divisional secretariat. The district secretariat is an individual similar to an additional secretary of a ministry, and thus he has the ability to organize such an event. However, Action TV not only revealed that this official has no authority to obtain funds from the Ministry of State Management to organize these events, but also revealed the manner in which funds were obtained. Officials attached to the Maladumbara Divisional Secretariat had to bear the expenses of hosting all divisional secretaries of the district for breakfast and lunch. In addition, Grama Seva officers and some of the officers were vested with the responsibility of obtaining funds from the business community in the area. The connections formed when obtaining such funds could lead to a certain biasness when carrying out duties. Since the budget of the meeting held in Maladumbara is yet to be released, issues have arisen regarding the transparency of the funds that were used for the meeting. Taxing low-ranking officials for the amusement of higher-ups was a practice that was witnessed in Sri Lanka during the colonial era. When Action TV inquired from the Pujapitiya Divisional Secretariat about the funds used for Tuesday's meeting, an official attached to the finance department revealed that they do not possess documents in this regard. If an individual single-handedly hosted all the divisional secretaries of the district to breakfast and lunch during this meeting, then without a doubt he could expect something in return. The over 200 staff of the Pujapitiya Divisional Secretariat were asked to donate money for the meeting if they wish. However, 500 rupees was deducted from the salaries of some officials of the Pujapitiya Divisional Secretariat in a fraudulent manner. These salary slips is proof of this fact. Incidentally, deducting salaries is against state financial regulations as well as financial ethics. Is there a direct connection between the deduction in salaries and the meetings of divisional secretaries? If the aim of the Kandy District Secretariat is to raise productivity in the state sector, then shouldn't an official process be created and funds be allocated in a proper manner? Minister of Public Administration and Home Affairs, this is over to you.
Today on News First You Report, we have a report filed by M.Z. Shahjahan from Nigambo. A demonstration was held in the Nigambo town yesterday, charging that police are conducting a biased investigation into an incident where a group of thugs had assaulted and killed a father of two. The protest march, which began from Munnakara, made its way to the office of the Superintendent of Police located at the Telwata Junction. Thereafter, the protesters returned to Munnakara. Residents from Munnakara and Thaladuwa participated in this protest march.
Mama, News First You Report genuine. Nigamo Sita M.Z. Shahjahan.
21 days since the disappearance of Tilna Jasingh, the student of the German Technical Training Institute. What is the story behind the disappearance of Tilna Jasingh? When will the truth be revealed without merely treating it as another case of disappearance?
Coming up later on in the news.